All right, folks, welcome back to Kings of Opinion. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus for a couple of weeks, but it's episode 121, and we got me and the Wander here. Say hello.
We're back, yes. Thanks for stopping by.
Yes. So, last we talked, we were all psyched up about the Yankees, and, football is in full swing, and, I guess for the last 2 weeks, we got a little bit to talk about, right?
Yeah. Been a minute.
Yeah, so I'll start with the baseball thing because I don't want to spend too much time on it because it's kind of like old news.
Mm-hmm.
But I really thought the Yankees were going to make it to Game 5. That kid, Cam, pitched another great game in my opinion. Like, the Blue Jays were pesky, and I get it. I don't know if you saw any of the game, but...
it was low scoring.
Yeah, it wound up being like 5-2, but I think he gave up like a run or two. Like, it's been a minute, but... He didn't pitch bad. He went right after them. He did his thing. It was just a shame that the Yankees, once again, couldn't get the offense going.
Right.
I don't blame that kid at all. I think they gave him an earlier hook. Like, I want to say it was in the 5th inning. And I guess they kind of had to because the way things are just going. They were losing and everything like that. But to me, they should have just kept him in there and just went down with the ship with this kid because he showed a lot of heart that night. And... they just didn't back him up. Like, they wound up getting a run early. I don't know if they scored first or not, but I don't think they did. I think Toronto scored one, and then they wound up tying them up. But to me, like, now we're in the off season. I kind of hated watching the Blue Jays celebrating at Yankee Stadium. And then I was really mad after the game because the Blue Jays, just like the Dodgers did last year, were taking a lot of shots at the Yankees.
Yeah, I did see a clip of Vlad with the Michael K. ad lib, I guess you would say.
Yeah. And at first it bothered me, and then I kind of like thought about it. I'm like, these teams only do that to the Yankees because I don't know if you want to call it envy or they're just, proud of beating the Yankees because the Yankees are always, at least in our generation, have always been in the playoffs, and like I've won a lot of championships since we were little.
Standard.
Yeah, so like I get last year why the Dodgers did it, and it was like kind of shitty to hear it and be like, well, whatever, like especially the way they lost. And then Toronto piggybacks off them and does that too. It would have been better if they celebrated and we made it to Game 5. I don't think I'd have been as mad.
I see.
If they lost in Game 5 in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like either which way, though, they would have talked their shit.
Right.
And like I said, at first I didn't really like it. But then, these are teams that I think every team when they beat the Yankees is going to wind up doing this nowadays. So for me as a fan, there's nothing I could do about it. I could just not watch it, which once I saw what you saw, I shut it down and I was like, forget about it, and I went about my way. But for the players, especially the ones that are still going to be Yankees next year, like, at what point do you start to try to, like, beat these teams and shut them up? You know what I mean? Like, I don't expect them to talk like the way these other teams talk, but you also almost have to assume that, if you're in the playoffs next year and you face Houston or the Orioles or Kansas City, whoever, Cleveland, and they wind up beating you, that same thing is going to happen. The only way that doesn't happen is you beat the balls off them and you go to the World Series and you win the World Series. And we haven't seen it in a long time. We have to wait a whole nother year for this, a whole grueling baseball season, and, that's it, right? So deal with it, do your thing on the in the off season, and you go from there, right? As far as like all the free agents and stuff go, like, I'm not really going to get too much into it now, but, there's all these rumors going around on these social media sites and everything like that. And it, the one thing I would say is you got to sign back Cody Bellinger. I heard the Mets were going to try and sign Cody Bellinger too. Yeah, I don't know how true it is, but they were talking about it, and they're like, Cody Bellinger would be a perfect fit for outfield first base for the Mets. And I was like, oh, wow, that's not good. And then they're saying that the Yankees should go after Kyle Tucker. And, he had a decent year with the Cubs. I think Cody Bellinger had, for the most part, a better year. And I think he was born to be a Yankee. I don't know if I'd give up on him. And they had their, what do you call it, like the end of the year meetings, and they were very, not cryptic, but very shy to say anything about what they're trying to do, I guess, in free agency. And right now, it's really not the time to do that because we didn't even get through the World Series yet, which is on Friday.
Right.
But I at the very least, I'd like them to keep Cody Bellinger. There's like a bunch of bullpen guys that I could care less if they stay or go. Like Luke Weaver, I think, is done. So you could see him packing. Same thing with Devin Williams. He's a free agent. I can't see you spending a lot of money on him, only because we've talked about this before. Bullpen guys are a dime a dozen. 1 year they're good, 1 year they're bad, the next year they're good, so, whatever. So it might be a good thing to let some of these guys go and then just refill with minor leaguers or get guys that might be projects, kind of like what the Mets did, right?
Right.
With their starting rotation. And with the Mets, especially, the Mets, I think, are looking at like signing a couple pitchers. I don't know who's out there yet, but I think this year they're going to spend some money on some decent like starting pitching so that it could complement with all these rookies that they have that pitch pretty well.
They could use some arms.
Yeah. And you know what? Listen, you're going to make mistakes, and it wasn't just their pitching that didn't get them into the playoffs. Their offense was not the best.
Down the stretch.
Yeah, and ever since, like we talked about it in June, it was up and down. It was like a roller coaster for them the whole way. The good news is they'll have Juan Soto. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Pete Alonso. He's going to ask for a lot of money,
Right.
and rightfully so. I think even with Soto doing what he did the second half of the season for the most part, after he got out of that horrendous stretch he had in the beginning of the year, you knew that was going to happen for Soto. But the Polar Bear was the most consistent guy on the team the whole year.
Yeah.
So I don't think you could really lose that bat to somebody. And I'm pretty sure he's like the top free agent first baseman. Like I don't think there's really anyone else out there that's going to require you to spend a ton of money, is what I'm saying. Did you watch any of these, like the last week of the baseball playoffs, like the Mariners versus the Toronto Blue Jays?
I did. I was watching, I guess it was, I think it must have been over the weekend. I think it might have been Friday when it was close, but then Seattle went up late, and then they won the game to take a 3-2 lead. And then it was funny, but I didn't see anything after that. And then I'm walking into the gym with my friend, and he was asking me, and I'm giving him my half-assed knowledge of what's going on. So I was like, yeah, I think I was like, well, the Dodgers swept. I knew that.
Right.
That's not really hard to remember.
Right.
But then I said, I think, I'm not sure. I was like, I'm not sure if Seattle advanced, but they were up 3-2. So then we were going to the gym, and then I got to see the highlights of Toronto coming back in Game 7, and it looked like a bit of a historic win for them, channeling Joe Carter, I guess.
Yeah, and George Springer again gets a 3-run homer, I think it was, to send them ahead, and then that's all they wrote. And listen, I wasn't really watching it. I think that was Monday.
For Donnie Baseball, right?
Yeah, I have mixed feelings on that. I am happy for Donnie Baseball. He finally gets to go to the World Series. And we'll get to the whole World Series in a second. But once they hit that home run, the game was over. I was like, I was flipping back and forth between that and football because I do a weekly pick'em pool with the spread. And I think it was Monday, right? It was the game? That game? Yeah. So I was watching the Lions. I had a lot on the line on Monday, right? So for my fantasy team, I needed Amon-Ra St. Brown and Mike Evans to score 24-ish points, like maybe 24 and a half, something like that, and I would have won. My friend was beating me like 160 to 136. Yeah. And Amon-Ra St. Brown comes right out of the gate, scores a touchdown. They must have threw the ball to him like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, I saw Gibbs had a good game.
Yeah, had an amazing game. Over 200 yards, all-purpose yards, whatever. And the guy was like, "Oh, I'm done." Then all of a sudden, Mike Evans tries to make this catch down the field. He winds up getting hurt. doesn't make the catch, like the ball comes out because I think he broke his collarbone or something like that, or clavicle.
Oh no!
And he was down, and he had not one catch, and then he was out for the game. So I needed 4 points in the second half from Amon-Ra St. Brown, and they literally threw to him twice the entire half, and they weren't even like catchable balls. And I'm like, ugh. So I lost my fantasy, which I really needed to be 500. I lost that one by 4 points. And then the reason why I was watching these games so intently is I was doing a pick'em with the spread, and I needed to win both Monday night games with the spread. And Detroit did their job. So when I was watching the Seattle game against who are they playing? The Texans. And I'm flipping back and forth between that and the baseball game.
Yeah, again with these 2-game
Monday night games. Yeah.
It's like I don't understand it.
And it was a 10 o'clock start. It was late.
Wow.
Yeah, the game didn't end till after 1 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm watching this game intently because I'm like, I need Seattle to cover. And they wind up covering, so I wound up winning a couple bucks there, which was good. But like I said, I was swimming back and forth between that and the Seattle-Toronto game, and I literally just missed the home run, so I saw it on the replay. That's how close I was to just seeing the home run itself. And I'm like, oh, this game's over, so I changed it and went back to the baseball game. So now you got the Toronto Blue Jays celebrating, Donnie Baseball going to his first World Series, which is great. And like I'm conflicted because on one half you got the Dodgers who literally beat the piss out of the Brewers. Like and that's a series that bothers me because I thought that series could have went 7.
Yeah, I thought it would have been a little more competitive for sure.
And it wasn't even at all,
Yeah.
For the most part. And they swept them. They've been sitting around, and Ohtani on the last game went crazy. Not only did he pitch to a shutout, basically, 2 hit them, and then hits 3 home runs. He was basically the entire offense of the Dodgers that night.
Crazy.
And, listen, we always knew he was very talented, but he definitely showed it. And what's funny about him is they praised him that day, and they're like, he's the best ever. But right before that game, he was like 1 or 2 for like 30-something in this playoff run in 2025. So he wasn't doing good. And historically, in the playoffs for him, if he doesn't hit a home run, he's not doing much. He might be even worse than Aaron Judge when it comes to hitting in the playoffs. But then he has that monster game, and he gets the praise, and you could just, this is why I love being a Yankee fan or a New York fan, and also hate it, because when we win, we'll get it. But when we're not winning, it's like they suck, this, that, and the other, and you don't hear anything. And maybe if you're in LA, you do, but you don't hear anything about Ohtani going 1 for 34 in the playoffs up until that point, or 1 or 2 or something like that out of 30-something in the playoffs up until that game. And then once he hits the 3 home runs, he's the best player in the world. You know what I mean? Fair or not, I don't know, but those kind of things irk me because no one ever talks about how bad he is sometimes.
And their staff though has been lights out, right, for the whole playoffs.
Yeah, especially that for the most part, especially in that Brewers series, they pitched games 1 and 2 back-to-back games where they were lights out. Like I think Snell went 8 innings of no-run ball, and then I want to say it was Yamamoto the next day that I think went 7 with no-run ball. But yeah, it's not great. So now I ask you this. Now we're finally in the World Series. It starts Friday night, 8 o'clock. Are you rooting for anybody, or do you not even care?
I think I would like to see Toronto win. I don't know. I guess I kind of have always, had an appreciation for Canada. Maybe it's just John Candy or, excuse me. I like those uniforms too. Those uniforms are pretty sick. That light blue.
The baby blue ones? Yeah, they're nice.
I was a big fan of Vlad, so, I'd like to see his son, get one.
Yeah.
But, the Dodgers, they're kind of like the new dynasty, so, it'll be a tall order for sure.
Well, yeah, if they win this year, they would have won 3 out of the last 5, I think.
Wow.
Because they won in 2020 in the COVID season, which no one really counts. I get it, but then they won last year and they would win this year. So it's, that would be crazy. For me, I'm not even gonna watch it. I might monitor it just for us to talk about it a little bit, like see the highlights. I will not, and this is.
You don't want anybody to win.
Yeah, I almost feel like it should somehow get suspended and just not play ever, because I was actually rooting once the Yankees were out. I was gonna attach my coattails to the Brewers, and then as a backup it would have been the Mariners, because they never made it to a World Series.
I guess I was gonna mention that too. Like, I guess they kind of choked, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Not like,
not full on choke, but it's close.
They had 2-0 lead, right?
Yep, and I think it's like 89% of the time that team that goes up 2-0 wins. There's only been like 3 instances, 2 of which were the Yankees.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess both teams, both teams needed it. They both of them. It's been a long time since they've been back.
Yeah, so the Toronto's hasn't been in the World Series since the early '90s. The Mariners have never been.
The Mariners have never
never been. So that's why I was like, they were my backup, even though I'm not a big fan of our.
It hurts a little more than
Right, of our boy Kyle Riley. And you're right, they did kind of choke. You win 2 games on the road the way you did in Toronto, all you need to do is win 2 out of 3 in your own place. Even if you didn't, they still were up 3-2. Right. You got to finish them off in that game 6.
Close it out,
Got to close it out, and they didn't, which is why they're in Cancun, like Big Papi's saying, and these guys are playing in the World Series in Toronto starting on Friday. But like the Brewers to me were like that feel-good story almost all year.
Right.
I might be mistaken, but I think they're another team. I know they've never won a World Series. I'm pretty sure they haven't won a World Series. I think they made it to a World Series. They just didn't win it. So that's the reason why I attached myself to them, because I thought they would be a good team to win. Like, I wanted to see someone new win, right? Yeah. So that's why they were my first. The Mariners were my second, even though I don't like Kyle Riley and how much everyone's like on top of him about, like, he hit 65 home runs this year, including the playoffs. And that's never been done before. Great. Okay, who cares? He's in Cancun right now, not in the World Series. You know what I mean? Like, those things, those are like, I hate when they bring up these like nonsensical stats. Like, he had a chance to beat Judge with 62 home runs during the season. That's what counts. Once he didn't do that, no one cares that he hit 5 home runs in the playoffs. And, unless he makes it to the World Series and wins the World Series, that stat is irrelevant to me. And I bet if you asked him, he wouldn't care either. You know what I mean? Because he didn't make it to the World Series. And you could see in his conference, his interview after the game, he was a hot mess. You know what I mean? So to me, that's a stat that no one should really care about. You're just throwing a stat out there for whatever. So now we're in the World Series. I don't like either team. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I love Don Mattingly growing up, and I would like to see him win a World Series, but not with the Toronto Blue Jays now. Right. And it's really only because of how they attacked the Yankees after they beat them. Like, to me, it's classless, and like, just be like, be respectable. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't do anything it's not like the Yankees kind of killed themselves. They just won. Like, they didn't do what they did in the World Series against the Dodgers, where they made all these stupid errors and mistakes. Then maybe you could say something. But they didn't do that in this series. You won. You were the better team. Just, enjoy your time, celebrate, and move on. So that's kind of why I don't want to see them win, and I'd rather see the Dodgers win. But then I don't like the Dodgers either, because they beat the Yankees last year. So for me, it is what it is. Whoever wins just wins at this point. I don't really care.
Somebody's going home with it.
Yeah, someone's going to go home with it, and how is that going to really affect me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess if you had a gun to my head and I had to pick, it'd be the Dodgers. Because at least they're from the National League. Then I could see the Toronto Blue Jays cry, and then you made all that stink for nothing beating the Yankees, and you didn't win either. So try again next year. So that's that. Yeah. That's it for me for the baseball stuff. We got basketball tonight. The Knicks are playing. Do we know who the Knicks are playing?
It flashed on the screen before, but
I have no idea. The only thing I do know, I was listening to the radio today that Cat might not be playing. He's questionable with a calf injury, a quad injury. So to me, I don't know if he's going to play already. And Mitchell Robinson, I don't think is playing, and Josh Hart, I don't think is playing. So, whoever the Knicks are playing, I want to say it's the Cavaliers. Does that ring a bell? Maybe.
I think.
Yep, it's the
Yeah.
Cavaliers.
Yeah, and the Cavs are a good team. So
Yeah.
it's a tough matchup right out of the gate.
100%. And they're actually playing at Madison Square Garden today at 7. So that's good. I hope the Knicks can actually be good all year. I don't really want to see like injuries plague them and like they're not as good as they're supposed to be, because everyone's saying that even though it's hard in the playoffs, that they should make it to the finals this year because it's a little bit easier because there's a lot of guys that are hurt
For other teams,
like Halliburton and somebody on Boston. Is it Tatum?
Tatum.
Yeah. So those guys aren't around, so it might be a little easier to try and get to the finals this year. But you pretty much got a full slate of games today. I'm looking at the list. It's almost like everyone is pretty much playing. Well, I guess people that didn't play yesterday, but
Right.
there's a bunch of games. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games today. So I guess there was only a couple games yesterday, right? Because there's only like 30 teams or 32 teams. But yeah, so guys, look out for that tonight. The Knicks are playing. And then let's talk about the nonsense of football this week. Your Dallas Cowboys, I want to start with them. Absolutely on fire right now. Did you get to watch any of that game?
I did watch a little bit. I saw that they were up pretty big in the fourth, I think it was. So yeah, I'll take it after they didn't look so good the week prior against Carolina.
No.
But yeah, step in the right direction. So hopefully they can keep it going this weekend if they're playing. I'm not sure if they have a bye or anything.
Not this week. They're playing this week. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I was watching a lot of these games, especially that Dallas Cowboy game, because I have Pickens and Javonte Williams on my fantasy.
Okay.
And they're the #1 scoring offense as of right now.
Wow.
And they got CeeDee Lamb back.
Yes, he did. I saw that he came back.
And he had a big game. Kind of hurt my boy Pickens a little bit. I mean, I could have used 4 extra points from somebody on my team. I didn't get it, but whatever. That's here or there.
Right.
But they look pretty good, and even their defense. I think they played Washington right this week.
Yeah.
I know Jaden Daniels got hurt, so it was a little different.
Really?
He's not playing this week either on Monday. He's out with a hamstring. So it was wound up being a little more lopsided at that point. But they dropped 44 points on them. And I kind of assume that the Commanders have a good defense. So
Right, yeah, I thought so.
yeah, so very impressive. Another team that was very impressive to me was the Colts. The Colts are the only 6-1 team right now.
Wow.
Yeah, Jonathan
Many
Taylor.
times.
Yeah, well, not only well, they don't call him that anymore. That was his Giants nickname. Now they call him Indiana Jones.
Oh, right, that's right. I forgot.
So they played the Chargers and they demolished the Chargers like 38-24. JT had a big game, 3 touchdowns, and Daniel Jones just keep plugging away. He's not really making many mistakes. He's competent. That team to me looks like, as of right now, a real good team, not only to make the playoffs, but maybe to contend with some of these other big dogs. Like right now, the Ravens need a lot of help to get into the playoffs, meaning like they need Lamar Jackson to come back and they need to win a bunch of games in a row for them even to be in the conversation to make the playoffs. I mean, you still got the Bills. You still got Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. They played. Who'd they play? Let's see. Shoot. Where are they? Oh, the Raiders. So they did their thing.
Lost, right?
No, they won.
They won.
They shut out the Raiders,
Oh,
but
wow.
but Mahomes looks crisp. Was watching a little bit of that game. I was bouncing back and forth. The Eagles beat the Vikings 28-22, so they looked good. Matter of fact, both Devontae Smith and AJ Brown had a hand in that game. They both scored a touchdown. And Devontae Smith, I think, had 180-something yards receiving. So it looks like they're getting their passing game back, which is good. At least for now. There's a bunch of 5-2 teams in the NFC right now. It's kind of wild. Let's see. We'll go right to it. So you have Philly, you have Detroit, you have Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah, Tampa's quietly been winning, and they've been winning late.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of games too. Mayfield.
Yeah, they're like the comeback kids. Unfortunately, they had nothing for the Lions. Like the Lions' defense was crazy Monday night. It's almost like they were possessed. Like Tampa couldn't get anything going. They were sacking them, intercepting, fumbles, like all over the place. Goff didn't have the best game. I think he threw a pick or two, or I think it was a fumble and a pick. But they lucked out. They wound up winning that game fairly comfortably. I think it was like 24-9. But yeah, Tampa's also 5-2. You have San Francisco, Seattle, and the Rams all at 5-2 in one division.
Wow.
So there's a bunch of teams that are 5-2 right now that you're gonna hopefully see some separation in the next coming weeks, because I'm sure they're gonna be playing each other. But the NFC is crazy right now, because right now Green Bay's got the North, but they're 4-1-1. So that you got to hope that they lose a game here or there, so that the Lions could, jump over them, right? And then the same thing with the AFC. Not so many 5-2 teams, but there's a lot of like 4-3 teams. Like you have the Chargers, Jacksonville. Jacksonville was a huge disappointment this week. They played the Rams and got crushed in London.
Yeah, that was the early game.
Oh yeah, I woke up for that one to watch it. I picked Jacksonville to like cover with the spread.
I think that would be a good game.
It was supposed to be, but to me, like, Trevor Lawrence is going, like, backwards. Like, he's looking worse. Like, they want to blame, like, and I have Brian Thomas, so that's why I was watching this game. And he didn't help him much, but he's throwing balls to these guys that are, like, so much harder to catch. Like, don't get me wrong. Brian Thomas missed a couple catches in the middle of the field that he should have caught and ran for like 20, 30 yards.
Right.
But when he does throw to him on the sidelines, it's like he's throwing it almost out of bounds. He's got to jump up, leap, make a catch, come down in bounds. Yeah. And it doesn't look easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was like, was it 14 or 21 nothing at the half? Something like that.
It was 21-0. You're right, at the half. It was 14-0 in the first quarter after the first two drives.
Yeah, not really enticing me to watch more.
No. I was only watching just to see if he'd throw a decent pass to Brian Thomas every once in a while, or maybe get a garbage time touchdown. They couldn't even do that. And on the other side of that game, you had Matthew Stafford set a record for most touchdown passes in London, which was 5, 3 of which went to Devontae Adams.
I did see he had a big game.
Yeah, so, that was wild. And you got Pittsburgh is 4-2, because I think they just recently had the bye, so they're coming back and actually playing the Green Bay Packers this week.
Interesting.
And the one game I'm not even gonna talk about it much, but the Carolina Panthers with the New York Jets, and the Jets are at home. You think that'd be the one game that they would win this year?
Well, was Fields out for a little bit?
Yeah, they took him out because he was terrible.
I was wondering why. What's his name was back in there?
Tyrod
Taylor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just took him out because he was god awful. I don't remember it being an injury report. I could be wrong, but with Buffalo on a bye last week, the Patriots won, so they're now 5-2 and they're leading the division. I'm not really so much worried about the division at this point anymore, but can you win a game? Like now they play the Bengals on the road. I have no confidence in them that they're going to beat the Bengals, even though the Bengals aren't that good either. They lost Joe Burrow, but now they have Flacco, who just torched the Steelers on Thursday night game. Yeah. So I can't see the Jets winning that game. Like the good thing about the Jets is they play really tough. Their defense is somewhat good, so I could see it being a little more difficult for the Bengals, but I don't see them winning that game at all. It's going to be misery all over again for the Jets. They're going to be 0-8. And the bye week for them can't come any quicker, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, not a lot of positive things going on for the New York Jets, unfortunately.
No, and it almost looks like Aaron Glenn is lost sometimes. Like, I can't remember what game it was. I don't.
Was the end of the London game?
Maybe the week before.
They didn't call timeout.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing over there, bro? Like, you have all these coaches, and when you look on the sideline, there's got to be like 20 people on the sideline that are either coaches, assistant coaches, or whatever. Someone's got to speak up. Like, give this guy a fucking clue or something like that. It's awful. Like, I don't understand what's happening with this guy. You know what I mean? And I don't think they're gonna fire him because I think that would be like premature. But you saw who got fired. The Tennessee coach got fired.
Oh, really?
Last week. I forget his name, but they fired him already, and they at least have a win. I think they're 1-6.
Yeah, they definitely have a win.
Yeah, they're 1-6. He at least got a win. You know, like, what is Aaron Glenn doing all of a sudden? Like, can we get a W? You know, and now that I'm talking all this crap about them, I'm pretty sure that they're just gonna beat the Bengals on Sunday. But whatever, I don't know. This is a very weird season. A lot of people are getting hurt in football, where like you got to make a ton of moves, at least fantasy wise. Like a lot of guys getting hurt all over the place, so it's kind of sucks for the game a little bit. You know, like even Brian Thomas at the end of the game hurt his shoulder. So like, you know, and then you got Mike Evans. Like it feels like every week there's another superstar that's going down. So not only do me as a fantasy manager and an ex-champion have to make moves, but in real life they got to make moves, and guys got to step up, and it's not easy. So this might be one of those years where like the healthiest team is going to win that Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Who knows? Yeah, but hopefully a lot of these guys are able to come back and we get some, you know, better football. I mean, it seems like the season's flying by. We're already in week 8, right?
Right.
It's nuts.
Next thing you know, it'll be Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, and you'll be almost there. Everyone will be talking playoffs. Not the Jets so much, but everyone else will be talking about the playoffs. A couple key games for this week that I'm looking at.
The aforementioned Pittsburgh and Green Bay, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers going back to Lambeau. Is it in Lambeau or is it in Pittsburgh?
No, it's in Pittsburgh.
It's in Pittsburgh. Well, he's still playing his old team. So
right, exactly.
I'm sure it'll be on TV.
Oh, well, it's the Sunday night game.
There you go.
So everyone will get to watch it. And then your Cowboys, they're playing Denver in Denver.
Ooh, that's a good game.
Yeah, so, and like, listen, like, Dallas has had a rough season. Like, as much as they looked impressive on the offensive side of the ball, they were pretty impressive defensively this last week as well. And they're going to need it for Denver because they're going to be in Denver, and I know that's a tough place to play.
Yeah, probably the hardest, I would say.
If not that, maybe Seattle because of the crowd. Like, it's up there. Let's put it that way. It's probably top 3.
Elevation alone, it's up there.
Right. Exactly. And I kind of like to see what like Bo Nix is going to do for an encore because the best game I think of last week was that Giant Denver game.
Yes, that I did see a little bit of that. I didn't see the finish, but you know it was a crazy comeback.
Well, that's all you had to see is the fourth quarter because Denver didn't do shit for 3 quarters, and I'm like, they're going to lose to the Giants. I can't believe this. And Bo Nix was my quarterback, but then all of a sudden they scored 33 points in the fourth. It was insane. And the Giants even came back again. Like, they were down.
Did they miss, like, a kick or two?
The Giants missed, like, an extra point, I think it was, which made it 32-30.
Right.
So what happened was
33-32 was the final.
Right.
Wow.
And Denver...
Missed an extra point.
Denver marched down, took the lead. And I think there was, like, 2 minutes left. And Jackson Dart marched them all the way down and scored the touchdown. And then they mixed the extra point. And then there was like 40-something seconds left in the game. And Bo Nix marched them down to like the 20-something yard line. And then they kicked the field goal to win the game with seconds left in the game. It was an amazing game. And, I can't believe they did that. 33 points in the fourth quarter was insane.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that Denver-Dallas game. It's a 4:25 start on Sunday. I can't wait to watch that game because I think that's going to be one way or another. It's either going to be a high-scoring game or, you're going to look for like a dud. It's going to be a really close game. There's not going to be like no 21-17. It's either the offense is going to be in charge of the game or the defense is, and it's going to be either really low scoring or really high scoring. So I want to see where that lands, because that could be a crazy game. Crazy game. I would say that might be the game of the week, besides like the Green Bay Pittsburgh game, only because it's Aaron Rodgers playing his old team.
Yeah.
I think that's just like nostalgia and like a revenge game for him. I don't know if that game will be like a really fun game to watch. Like that might be like a lower scoring game.
And Denver also has, they had the win against Philly in Philly, I think, too, a few weeks
Yes,
ago.
that was the week before. Yeah, 100%. And they're 5-2. They're looking good.
Yeah.
Even with like some of the struggles of Bo Nix, because he last year in the second half he took off, and now they thought he was going to do more of the same this whole season, but he's been like sporadic. So maybe now he's starting to come along, and maybe hopefully they can get going. And whether they win or lose that game, I hope there's a lot of points scored. I would love an offensive game, because there's a lot on the line for me with my fantasy team.
Right.
That's it.
So yeah, you'd like them to perform a little bit for you?
I'd like a high 30s, low 40s on both sides of the ball, like maybe like 41-38 type of deal. That'd be kind of nice. That'd be nice. And that'd be probably they want to be in the game of the week if that's the case. So, you heard it here first. That's the game of the week. But yeah, that's all I got for the sports aspect of things.
Giants Eagles, that's not bad either.
No, it's not bad, but I think the Eagles are going to right the ship against the Giants. I don't think they're going to let the Giants do what they did to them.
I see.
Was it 2 weeks ago now?
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know if the Eagles totally figured it out yet, because they still have Saquon Barkley. He's been a little not a bust, let's say, but he hasn't been himself. But last year he carried the workload. So like they normally say, like,
well, their offense in general isn't clicking as it has in previous years.
Correct. And like they're still trying to figure it out. So like, they're getting there, and they're showing it on the TV right now. Like Saquon hasn't been himself, but if you get the passing game going, which they haven't been able to do most of the season, 100%. So yeah, with that, we'll tie that little NFL in a bow right now till next week. What have you been watching? Anything good?
Oh man, I've been watching a bit.
Good. I like to hear it. Let's go. Right. I got a whole list right here of stuff I've been watching since all I can do is sit here.
Okay. For myself, well, let's see. I finished Task on, I think it was Monday.
How was it?
It's awesome.
The ending great?
Yeah, great show.
Okay.
Great show. Big fan. I forgot too that it was the same. It was the creator who did Mayor of Easttown. I'm not sure if you saw
really?
That, but
I did.
Yeah, that was a good one too. But
Mayor of Easttown? Okay.
Mayor of East. No, Mayor, like not Mayor.
Oh.
The name Mayor.
Oh, okay.
Easttown.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on HBO like a while back.
Okay.
Anyway, same creator. But yeah, Task was great. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was well done. 7 episodes, and I really enjoyed it. Great cast. I highly recommend. What else? I've been watching. Peacemaker. I think we talked. Did we talk about that?
A little bit. I finished it.
Yeah, it ended a couple weeks ago. Good season, just like the first one.
How'd you like the ending?
It was, I guess.
Same feeling. Yeah.
Like I guess you had to stop somewhere, but it just leaves a lot open, I guess, for next season.
But they said they're not going to do another season. That's
Oh,
why.
really?
That's so like.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like, when I was watching it, you're on Instagram and you see these little snippets or whatever, and James Gunn said that this is the last season. He's not writing anymore for Peacemaker.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So it'll probably be like some kind of cool ending.
Tie it into a movie?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. Like, so like when I watched it and then I saw the ending, and like if you haven't watched it yet, spoilers, whatever, he gets sent to another, another universe, I guess, right? Dimension or whatever it is. But when they did that, I was like, what? I'm like,
that's it?
Yeah, and they ended it. I'm like, he's just stuck there, and then you hear like dinosaurs or monsters or whatever, and I'm like, that sucks. So like, if you're gonna have him back in either a movie or another show or whatever, like you have to explain how you're going to go get him now. And they left it almost as like a cliffhanger. Like you have Rick Flag Sr. like going to start sending all these metahumans to this area. So like, I guess the reason why they did that is to set up all the movies that they're going to be coming out with now. And I guess it's going to have something to do with that. And he's going to be like really involved in these movies, and I guess trying to capture like the likes of Superman and, you know, Flash and all these, even like some of these other people with Lex Luthor, and just throwing them in this world, and that's it. And Peacemaker's going to be there, and how you'll see him, I mean, I guess you got to leave it for now to your imagination, right?
Right. Yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, I've been. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I've been watching The Lowdown.
Okay.
With Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, how's that?
It's good.
That's on FX, right?
Yeah, the same guy who did Reservation Dogs. So definitely enjoying that. It's funny. It's, you know, good show. Yeah, I was always a fan of him too. He's pretty much good in most things
Nice.
that he's in. What else? Oh, I watched a couple of movies. I watched the John Candy documentary.
I did too.
I thought that was great.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously, to people our age, it's like we grew up on his movies.
Yeah.
And, you know, how could you not? I mean, how could you not like the guy? He's just, you know, an everyman, and sad, but it's also cool just to see, you know, the people that were around him, their perspective, and to hear them share their stories about him. And his
It's a
kids
lot
and
of people that we grew up with too, like
Yeah.
Bill Murray, like I forget
Dan
Dan Aykroyd, of course, and some of the people, Eugene Levy that you
Yep.
see in stuff, the girl from Home Alone,
Yes.
like all great things.
Macaulay Culkin too.
Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, 100%. He was in 3 of his movies, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Or at least they were in 3 movies together, because Home Alone wasn't really John Candy's movie, but
He's in it.
he was in it for a little bit. And yeah, I thought it was a really cool documentary. Like, I like seeing stuff like that recently.
Yeah.
So when I saw it was out, I was like, boom, I'm going to watch it. That was one of the first things I watched last week when I was stuck at home all day and all night.
And what else? Oh, I watched, I think it's called Steve. It's a movie on Netflix with Cillian Murphy. He plays like a teacher, I guess you would say a teacher caretaker at like this school or boarding school for like troubled youth.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also got, you know, some of his own demons. So I thought that was good.
It's a movie, you said?
Yeah, it's not really not too uplifting.
Okay.
But you know, I enjoyed it. You know, he's a good actor. And
Yeah.
I thought, you know, it was well done. I think Tracy Ullman was in it.
It's not like a horror movie. It's just like a drama, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Drama.
Gotcha.
Would definitely be the way to describe it.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Did I watch anything? I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting here.
Of course. If you are
I'm
watching a lot of stuff.
GenV.
Me too.
I jumped back into that a little bit.
Me
I think
too.
I'm like 5 episodes, maybe.
Oh, wow,
6
we're right in the same
episodes
spot.
into it,
I think I just
they're
started
trying
the
to, They're
6th.
trying to get they want the what's the main girl's name?
Marie or something like that?
Marie, I think.
Yeah.
They want her to fight her friend who changes genders or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, that's episode 5.
Yeah, they want
Yeah, I'm
them-
just past that.
They want them to fight. But yeah, you know, it's a funny show, and you know, and it's it's, you know, kind of like The Boys, I guess, similar themes, and I feel like they bring it more to the forefront in this season as opposed to the last one.
Yeah. It's a good show.
I think that might be it.
I think I
I'm not sure
liked.
if I watched anything else.
I think I liked season 1 so far. I mean, I haven't
Better?
finished it,
Mhm.
but like, there's a lot more action in the first one.
Right.
But like, I don't know how many episodes it has in the season. I don't know if it's 8 or 10, but I'm close to the end. So
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, like I think I'm halfway through episode 6. But yeah, it's still a good show, and they're trying to. I think what they're trying to do is mesh both worlds, like The
Right.
Boys and
Right. That
Gen
seems,
V.
I agree. It seems to be the plan.
Yeah.
And yeah, the guy who's the dean or whatever. He's
Cypher, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah, no, he is. I forget where I saw him in, but he's a good actor, and whatever he's doing is, well, I'm sure they'll reveal it by the end of the season. But yeah, he's trying to like, it's almost like he's trying to create like a new, like superhero team.
Right.
With that girl Marie being the forefront of it. I don't know what his end game is though yet. Hopefully they let us know by the end of the season. But it's almost like he's prepping them for something big.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to seeing the end to like wrap it all up in a bow and see what the deal is with that. But yeah, it's still pretty good.
So what else have you been watching?
Well, you took away my thunder with the John Candy, so I'll leave that off.
Yeah, that was that's prime viewing.
Saw a couple movies. I saw the movie with Channing Tatum, Roofman.
What's that?
It's a true story based on a guy that was robbing like McDonald's and stuff like that, like through the roof. And it's pretty entertaining.
What's this on?
I don't know.
Okay.
I saw it on the Fire Stick. It's one of those Fire Stick specials. It was in the movies. I don't think it was for that long, but if you don't have anything to watch, it's based on a true story, and it's quirky and funny, and like he like tries to live a different life and all this stuff. It's a good movie to watch. Like if you got nothing to watch, not much to think about, you just watch the story and see how it unfolds. That was pretty cool. I watched Megan 2.0 for some reason.
Oh, they made another Megan.
Yeah.
How was that?
Not great.
No,
not great.
The first one I think was like a hit. Right?
Yeah, it was a hit. I just think the second one, I don't know how good it did in the theaters or whatever, but I watched it only because I saw the first one. And like I said, I was bored and it was on there. So I was like, let me check it out. It was okay.
Didn't do it for you?
No, not really. Because it's not, the first one I thought was a little bit more of like, either like a Halloween horror movie. This one really wasn't. It was more like just drama / action. Not even drama, just like you knew her deal and it was just a movie.
I see.
Whatever. I finished Black Rabbit.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
knew I was going to forget something.
I got it.
There you go.
Took care of
That's
it.
what I forgot.
Took care of it.
Very good.
Loved it.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Those two guys, Judd Law and Jason Bateman, obviously great actors, but such a good show.
I think my favorite thing about it was seeing Jason Bateman play somebody who's like not wholesome.
Correct.
Because he's. Correct. I feel like he's always like clean cut guy. Even in Ozark, he gets involved in some,
but he's a family man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He gets involved in some dirty things, but like he's still kind of like this squeaky clean, guy.
Right.
So I thought it was cool to see him as like kind of like a dirtbag / degenerate. Total
dirtbag and degenerate, like gambling and like. There was that one scene when he was at the casino, like on the underground casino. And he's like, he's making all his money back, and he's at that one part where like he wins his hand, and he's free and clear. And sure as shit, the guy in front of him ruins it all and takes the hit, and he wigs out, and it all goes downhill from there. Like such a good show, man. It's a one and done type of show, so it sucks, but it was.
I like the ending too. The ending.
Yeah, the ending was really good. I won't ruin it for people yet. We'll wait till we get Ernie back to see if he actually finished it to talk about.
I think he.
Yeah, crushed it.
Crushed it.
Yeah, so I want to get his advice on it. So maybe we'll talk to him about it next week. What else did I got? So those are done. Oh, so another two cartoons on Disney Plus: Eyes of Wakanda and Marvel Zombies.
Okay.
4 episodes. They're like 30 minutes each.
Of each?
Yeah, like both shows had 4 episodes. 2 separate shows, obviously, and they're short episodes. They're like 30 minutes.
What is the Zombies about?
So they did the What If. Remember they did the What If, and they had an episode of the Marvel Zombies.
Oh.
So they basically expanded on that episode.
I see.
And they went. Each episode was like other groups of superheroes, like fighting the zombies or trying to navigate through the world with the zombies. Right. And they tied it off well at the end. I liked the Marvel Zombies a lot. I thought it was a pretty good, 4 episode thing, and I think they're gonna do more of that. So they only gave you like a little taste of it. There's still more to explore there.
You liked it?
I did. I actually liked it because
it seems like it would be right up your alley.
Yeah, it was cool. You know what I mean? Like, and it's quick. Like I literally, when I was sitting around doing nothing in the hospital, I was just watching it on my iPad. So I, went through it in like a couple hours while I was getting my meds and whatnot. So, it was good. And then the Eyes of Wakanda are like 4 separate stories in time. Like they went like all the way back to like the time of like Achilles and stuff, where like vibranium is like stolen from them, or like they're pieces of vibranium in other cultures, and their whole task is to retrieve it and bring it back to Wakanda. So like,
I see.
There's not what happened in the original Black Panther movie
Okay.
happening beforehand, and they had different characters, none of which you'd know because they were centuries before.
Oh. Okay.
You know what I mean? It was okay. It was good. You got to follow it a little bit, but it was a cool 4 episodes of like backstory of like I guess the Wakanda heritage and all that stuff. So that was another decent show. I like obviously Marvel Zombies a lot more because you could be a little more creative with that one.
Right.
Whereas this one you couldn't. I guess you could have, but they just didn't.
Right. They didn't have as much
Right.
creative freedom.
Right. And like there was no characters that from now. You know what I mean? So that made it a little different. Whereas at least Marvel Zombies, you had a zombie Captain America, a zombie Thor, and then you had all the characters that are in the MCU right now in this show, which I guess made it more relatable.
Gotcha.
I think I'm missing something on this list as well, but I'm not going to think about it. So
there's always next week.
Yeah, there's always next week, and that's it. I'm done with it. So give us your.
All right, we got one pick as usual this week. We're going with J Electronica, a written testimony, leaflets. So that's the pick for this week.
All right, cool. Well, everyone, enjoy the rest of your week and weekend. Let's go Knicks. Screw the Jets, Giants, and Dallas Cowboys. Let's go. And we'll talk next week. Enjoy, folks.
Till next time.
Later, fellas.